Hello, everybody. Hope that you are bringing your week to a close in a meaningful way as we enter Shabbat and enter the fourth book of the Torah, the book of Numbers in English is what it's called. In Hebrew, Bemidbar, in the desert. I just think it's interesting that there's really no connection to the English and the Hebrew, particularly this week. So the book of Numbers and Bemidbar both actually do correlate in some way. Numbers, why it's called Numbers? Because it connects to the beginning of the book because the Israelites take a huge census and get to around a 603,550 number. That is of the males that they count. And so while it may seem boring in the text, it's pretty interesting because each of the tribes goes through the numbering system to figure out exactly how the numbers work. So that's why perhaps Numbers and Bemidbar in the desert, because the Israelites are clearly in the desert. They have been, but all of Leviticus, the previous book, the Israelites were stationary, and now they start to move again. And so here they wander through this desert, and this will be maybe the most challenging and difficult time for the Israelites, period, in their journey to the promised land will probably take place in this book. Lots of ups and downs, lots of complicated moments that happen for the Israelites collectively. And so we're about to enter this book. Simultaneously, as we enter this book of spending time in the desert, also, we are just around the corner from the third of three pilgrimage holidays. There are three pilgrimage holidays: Sukkot, Pesach, and Shavuot. We are about to enter the holiday of Shavuot. So Sunday night is Erev Shavuot, and then Monday is Shavuot. Here at CBI, there'll be a service for you to join us. Also, we will be engaging in Yisker. And so Shavuot is the third, as I mentioned, of the three pilgrimage holidays. The pilgrimage meaning that the Israelites would wander to either the tabernacle or eventually the temple to make their sacrifices, and also to appreciate their harvest themselves and themselves, and also the bringing the sacrifices, the sort of duality of that. And so it is maybe the least known of the pilgrimage holidays. Everyone really knows Sukkot and can identify it through a Sukkot. As Sukkah, it's right near Yom Kippur, so the connection is right there. Everyone knows Pesach. And so Shavuot is this little holiday, maybe because it's in June. People are already thinking about schools might be over. People are thinking about going on holiday. But don't miss out on Shavuot. There is like three levels to it. One is the biblical that makes the connection about the harvest. The other is a connection that talks about how the sacrificial system is used to come and bring your kosher animal to get sacrificed, like I said, in the tabernacle or eventually the temple. And then the rabbinic version that it's connected somehow to dairy, and that the dairy connection is that the rabbis make the connection that maybe this was the time that the Israelites actually received the Torah, and they made the also super connection, which is everyone's favorite, that theoretically they took the idea of what two tablets look like, and said that's why we should have dairy and we should eat blintzes because the two tablets look like blintzes. You don't have to believe me, but that's true. And so it is a dairy holiday, which is why behind me you can see there's a Torah, and there's the connection to the harvest, and there's also the dairy to connect all of it. So as we enter this new book of Torah, I hope that, like we ended the last one, we left it. We're saying we left it and say, may we be strengthened. So as we enter this book, I hope that we'll be strengthened. I hope that we will find ways to make any sort of a desert journey meaningful and important, and clearly find ways to celebrate our third of three pilgrimage holidays of Shavuot. Services are not that far away. They are at 6:30 as usual. And tomorrow morning, 8:30, for our service and discussion about Bemidbar. Let's put as much shalom as we can into our Shabbat. We'll see you soon.